right, let's do this reaction video. About a minute and a half long on this one. Giddy up.
There's one character.
This guy kind of interrupts the storyline, and his name's Barabbas.
Oh.
He's a rebel,
he's a rebel to Rome.
He leads a rebellion. He murders people.
He's a thug. He's a crook.
And he deserves the chains. And
This guy deserves the crucifixion. And then on the other side, you got
I
Jesus.
see where we're going.
Who is
What has
he?
he done but heal, restore,
Deliver people, set people free, open blind eyes, open deaf ears.
And they unlock Barabbas from his chains and shackles. And he walks down.
He's walking up to his
Welcome by with his thug friends.
Yeah, man.
The people love me. Jesus stood there
Jesus stayed
silent,
for he knew the will of
the Father.
Because
Jesus
he knew
that the
God
Father
had
had
to
to treat Jesus like Barabbas so he could treat Barabbas like Jesus. Barabbas thought it was the people that set him free. No,
Wow.
no. It was the love of Heavenly Father.
And when I reflect on that story,
figured out who
I look
Barabbas
at it
is.
and I'm like, that's
me. That's you. That's us. I got saved by grace, but now that I'm in this deep, dark place, I better work hard to get myself
I gotta try
out.
so hard to get out of this sin struggle.
That's the opposite of the gospel.
Be real
You know-
with yourself.
Are you bound?
Are you
All right, we get it. Look, to be honest, I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to crush this kid for this. I don't know. I feel like with the amount of energy that it takes to memorize somebody else's sermons, you might as well just study for your own. There's actually a historical precedent for this. Now, I'm assuming that this got brought up because he didn't give, what's this guy's name? Judah Smith, if I remember right? The top guy, the nerdy looking dude. He probably didn't give him proper credit, probably ripped off his sermon, and that's bad. That's dishonest. That's stealing intellectual property, and it's lazy. So if that was the case, then he shouldn't have done that. But he's a young kid, preacher. He ought to learn his lesson, not do that anymore. On the other hand, there are a lot of guys throughout history that have preached other guys' sermons just with full disclosure. That used to be kind of a standard thing. Is you'd have like in the First Great Awakening, you'd have guys that would go around and preach a sermon. Somebody would copy it down in shorthand and then transcribe the full message and then pass that out. And then other guys who weren't trained yet to preach because they were brand new believers, they would go and re-preach a sermon from John Wesley or from George Whitefield or whoever it was. So hopefully not Charles Finney. But this happens a lot, and the sermons of the early church fathers have been re-preached many times. I was at a service one time, at a revival service, where one of our local kind of the old venerated guys in town, like one of the pastors here in town that just everybody respects, to the hilt. He got up and he said, "Today I'll be preaching a sermon from Billy Graham, in the year whatever." And then he just went for it and he re-preached Billy Graham's sermon. And he did that in an intellectually honest way. I don't know why he thought that was going to be more helpful than him just like preparing one on his own, like from the heart. This guy, he's not lazy, right? Like it wasn't laziness for him. So what I'm saying is there is a way to do this correctly, what this kid's doing. If he did it incorrectly, he should move on and not do that again. He should sort of grow. He should outgrow these childish clothes. But, I don't know, whatever. The content of that sermon, I can't believe I'm about to say this about Judah Smith, but, the content of that sermon so far was excellent. That's exactly how you preach the Barabbas story. That's 100% right. And Judah Smith being a master communicator, when he latches on to the truth and to solid doctrine, he goes hard in the paint. So, if you're going to rip off a sermon, that's a good one to do. So, yeah, I don't know. I would say I hope Baggy Jeans here, I hope he has matured since then. Seems like maybe a little technique error. I hope if there was anything dishonest going on that he repents of that and grows out of it. But, he's soaking in a good message and he's passing along the right stuff to the people to whom he has an opportunity to preach. So, you know what? I'm going to say he swung for the fences and it was a foul ball, but we'll let him be at the plate still. Strike one. He's not out yet.